Welcome guys to another Ask Zenler. Welcome to this engagement and nurturing module. Now in this module what we're looking at specifically are quizzes and surveys inside Zenler. Now quizzes and surveys are really good because surveys give you a idea of what your students are looking for, and also quizzes give them and surveys give them an engagement, so they feel more nurtured with taking part in these kind of more interactive lessons. Okay, so I'm going to go through quizzes first and then I'm going to go through surveys. Now one thing to remember is we at Zenler are always updating, making things better, and there's going to be quite a big update to the quiz section. So whether that's in place now, but it will be out at some point, and I will be replacing the videos below with the new content, so it might already be there. All right guys, so we're going to get on and we're going to start, and I'm going to start by showing you how quizzes work inside of the Zenler platform. In this lecture we're going to set up a quiz. Now you can put quizzes into your course curriculum. There's an easy little tab to be able to do this. So if I go into this Beginner's Guide to Surfing, go into the curriculum, you're going to see down here I can add a lesson here, and we'll call it quiz, and I can drop this quiz into here. So let me just save this and I can click here to add a quiz. Right guys, so what I want to do though is I want to add it into a bundle. So you can add it as part of your curriculum, but I'm also going to add it into a bundled course. Now if you don't know what bundled courses are, memberships and those sort of things, have a look on the video into the membership area and you'll see about all that if you haven't looked already. So guys, I'm just going to set it up. So I'm going to pause the video whilst I set up a brand new course that's just going to have a quiz inside it. Okay guys, I have this take the quiz little course thing set up, so I'm going to just add a lesson to it. So like I said, any course you can add a lesson, and that lesson can contain a quiz or it can contain a survey. So we're going to start off with a quiz. Really simple. Going to hit quiz. We're going to label this. So we're going to go out, we're going to call this what level are you? So it is a quiz asking them questions, but basically they're going to we're going to see kind of what level they are along the way, kind of thing. So what level are you at surfing? Okay, and I'm going to do it a graded quiz, so you don't have to, but you can grade it and you can give a pass mark. So how many have they got to get right? 90%, 100%. In a way it might not be worth grading this because they might answer a question based on their skill level, which might not necessarily be right, but you can turn grading on and you can pass this quiz before continuing as well. So that if you put in 50% on here, they would need to get 50%. If you put it in here and you click that, they would need to get 50% or more to be able to continue in the course to the next lesson. All right, so that's what that means. If you put 100%, they'd have to get it all right. You could put 0 in there, in which case they can just pass, be like putting 0. So I'm not going to grade this, but that's what it's for. Okay guys, really simple. So let's go and create this as a quiz. Let's click add, and we're going to go into the quiz settings. So this is our quiz area. Now we have the ability to drop media in here, and we also have the multiple choice and the true and false as well. So let's start with a few of these. I'm going to drop this one into here. You can see I can just drag this across, and I'm not going to make this a long quiz because you're going to kind of get the idea and you can play around on your own. So inside this bit, this is the question we're going to ask them. Okay, so are you able to get up in white water? So I'm kind of like, it's almost turning this into a survey, which I shouldn't really do, but I'm just adapting this to, so remember it's not graded. So are you able to get up in white water? Now you can see here I can actually put a little logo in here. So the image size for this little logo is 145 by 145. So I'm going to just add an image, and let's just pick a little image here. So it's going to give me this little box, which is going to be the right size. I can move this box, bring it up and down. Let's just put it in there and click save. And you're going to see a little image will come up here. So now I can click, you can put a description here as well, and turn that on. So in here, write a question description. This question is regarding your skill level. Okay, something like that. All right, now we put our answers. So we're going to have an answer in here. So we're going to put in, no, I cannot get up. Okay, and I'm going to add a new option there. Yes, I can, only in white water. And a new one, no problems with surfing white water. New question, new answer, sorry. I can get up and maneuver the board. So obviously spelt that wrong. Okay, now in here we have the option to delete. You could add an image, a media option in there, and you can also have a correct answer. Now for this particular one, I want no correct answer because I'm basically using it like a survey. So you can use a quiz kind of like a survey. So going forward, I'm going to be putting questions where you have to answer the question and it be correct or not. So I'm going to actually rename my quiz because I've realized that this is for a survey. So let me rename a few of these and I'll come back to you. Okay guys, so I've just changed this to more of a quiz question. So should you grab your board and go straight into the sea is the question. So then I have a description, which answer is the right one. So I've got the answers here. No, you should observe the conditions and stretch, and then go before entering the water. Okay, now this is the correct answer. And I've got next, I've got yes, get out in the water as fast as you can. Then no, stretch first, and then find a busy beach and get straight in. So this is the correct answer. To make it the correct answer, you just click here. Okay, so this is now the correct answer. They need to answer this correctly to get that score if you're grading it. So you can put in here, down here, you've got answer settings. Is it required? I'm going to put yes, so it means they have to answer it before moving on. Also, is it single response? So if you have this turned off, they can select more than one, which means you can put more than one correct. You can also randomize them so they go up and down different orders, and supersize, show an image, video in larger size, so you can make that as well if you've got a video or something in there, because we can also upload media. Alright, so let's just save the changes, and once that's done we can add our next question. So let's use this one and make this one true or false. So I'll drop in a new question here, there. We can change the order of this, by the way, by dragging these down. Okay, so I'm going to just put another, this is a yes or true or false question. And the answer to this will be this, true. So is it essential to stretch before every surf? Question mark. Okay, now I'm not going to put a description in for this one, but I'm going to make it required. Okay, let's save the changes. Alright, so we've got 2 questions in there so far, and you might have noticed inside here we have a preview mode. So this shows us what our quiz is like. So if you click here, it will jump to each of these. So you can see we've got a nice image there. So you can see it before you've actually started to fill anything out. And you can click that or that and click continue, and then it goes to the next one, true, and then finish. And thank you for completing the quiz, and you can submit the quiz. Right, so you have that ability to preview it in here. Now I always do a proper preview of the quiz up here. So this is essentially how it works. You can keep adding more and more questions. Now if you want to add media, you might have a media question in here where you might have a series of different images, one being correct, and you might want to use that. So let me just drag this into here and show you how the media one works. So here you've got the answers. So you can click and you can put an image in here just by clicking, and then you can add the image, or you can add a video, and you can add a new one there, and then you just select which one's correct, you know. So I'm not going to use this one, but that's how you do it. And you can enable the descriptions and make it required, and you can supersize the image, randomize, single, same as before. So this is the basics of how it works. All right, guys? And you can also delete this out by going down to the bottom and hitting the delete button, clicking yes. There we go. So at the moment we've got 2 questions in there. That's going to be enough for the training to show you. So now I need to show you how to change the appearance and how it looks and the other features inside of a quiz inside of here. You can always come back to this later if you need to. So let's go and view the quiz settings now over here. This is going to bring a little tab out. Notice if I click here, it can bring a little tab out. And we have a lot of things we can do in here. We have a general setting. This allows you to, again, even at this stage, you can change the actual thing, so there's a passing grade. So let's put this passing grade and make this, they've got to get 100%, okay, before they continue. And I'm also going to change the name of it as well. Your knowledge at surfing. So I can just change the name of that very easily, like that. So we can show results on each question, so to show if they're correct or not. We can enable navigation bars, okay, on this. We can auto slide on answer selection, so auto slides to the next one. We can enable touch or slide so people can flick along on their mobiles. You can enable retake, which I always like to do. You can enable a review if you want to, and you can randomize the questions, all of the questions in one go from this button here. You can also enable welcome and thank you page at the end. I tend to turn this off, but I'm going to leave it on for this tutorial. Now every time you make a change in one of these blocks, make sure you apply your changes, okay? Just make sure you apply them, because sometimes it doesn't take otherwise. So now if we preview this, you're going to see that we have a few more things going on in here that we can actually go. So I can preview the quiz properly in here. So we got the thank you, the start page. We can click start and we can click continue. So I need to force it to answer before you carry on. If I answer that one and then I go false and then I finish, and then you can submit the quiz. See, it hasn't held that detail in there, so I'm going to close the preview, open the quiz settings back up, okay, so that should be set in there now. So let's go to progress bar. So we can put a progress bar along the top. If you click here, you're going to see this now. There's a progress bar that shows how far. You can also go in here and you can select a style for it as well. So you've got this like little tab one that you can do. I like this one. And that's great. You can also set a timer. So you might want to time your students. So if we turn that on, you can see there's a timer. We can change this. So if we want to make this 1 minute, no, not 1 minute to do the whole test, but maybe 5 minutes to do the whole test. And then I want that to be 0, 0 in here, like that. That's the timer. So that they have to complete this in 5 minutes. Okay, the timer will click down. You can enable hours as well in here if you want to. And under styles, you can set 2 different styles there. Okay, so it's up to you which you want to select. You also have some expiry options as well. So this is like if they come out the system, then the quiz will expire. So I tend to leave that off. And you've got messages in here. Now these are the messages that you see, like the welcome page, start the quiz now, the thank you page, the quiz pass page, the quiz fail, resume page. Remember guys, like I said, when you do any of these changes, just make sure that you go in here and you apply those changes to it. Okay, otherwise they might not stick. Okay, let's have a look at the quiz now as we've got it. Let's preview that. Now you can see we have a progress bar and we have a timer. Start the quiz and you're going to see that this starts to go down. Okay, so now we're going to go yes and then click this. You see I'm halfway through, there's only 2 questions. And then I click true and I'll finish. And then I can submit my quiz. And it tells me the score that I've got. And I can review this or I can retake the quiz, because I have that option to retake it. Start the quiz now. So I'll close that back up. And now it's going to move us on to the next part of the quiz settings. So we've looked at messages, so you can change all those messages. We've looked at expiry option, timer, progress, general. So what we need to do now is we need to look at labels and buttons. So under here you can see that our labels, or we can actually change our labels to view something else. So instead of like the question labels, I can make it AB or I can make it numbered, and the answers I can make numbered or I can make AB, these down here. Okay, so we have buttons under here as well, start, retake, you've seen those. Just make sure that you do save these every time. And now what we're going to do is get into the last part of this, which is the styles. So styles is really good because it allows us to style the actual quiz itself, so we can change it and make it our own. So if I come down to the styles tab here, I'm going to check this on, and you're going to see things are kind of, when you mouse over, things are going a different color, and it allows us to change. The first one I've got is a big block there, so I'm going to get rid of this little border. I'm going to click in there, and then you're going to see that it says border, and I can change that color. It's like that. I can also make this thicker. So if I was to make this, if thinner, sorry, I can make this 2. It goes really thin. I could also put 1 at the top. I can put stuff around the outside if I wanted to, like that. So I've put a border around there, or I could turn it off by going to none, which is what I'm going to do. You can also change this background color as well, as you can see. So you can change that. I'll change that to kind of a grey color. And now if I want to move on to something else, I can come in and I can just click on here where I've got this little dotted line running around. I'm going to change it and make it solid there, or actually I might turn it off, make it none. Okay, now the color of that dotted band, by the way, is controlled in here. Yeah, and I'll just show you something else that you can do. You can come into here and you can change it. So if I put this on none, this on none, this on none, and this on 5, it's only going to give me a line along there. can also change this background color in here, maybe change it to this, and let me just change this to an orangey color, something like that, and make that there, and apply the changes. So now let's go to something else. Let's go to this little piece in here, and let's change this and make it orange. That's nice. I can change the rest of this if I wanted to, and I think that's it. But you can go in and you can change a lot of things in here. So you can go in and you can change things in this side as well. Notice this is A, B, C, D, and this says 1. That's controlled by this. Notice it changes. And here, if I change these to this, so you can change it. So once you're happy with it all, just hit save. Just make sure you've got those tabs open and you're applying the changes. We can close this now, jump back into the preview, and we should have something that's good. So there we go, we've got it all styled nicely. So you can click continue. Just going to come back to this, and I want to go back into quiz styles. Let's go into styling, turn it on, and I want to change this bit here. Let's change those. Let's go into this, change this, and if I click the back button there, I can also change that. You can do this independently. Let's change this one. We have a background as well, so I could change that. The color of the text, I can make this. Do the same for that. Oops. Let's make it a little bit of a color difference. Might make that font a little bit bigger so it matches. So apply the changes. So there's certain things we cannot style inside of our quizzes, and that's the sort of thank you, like the welcome page as you come into it. There's no option in here. Now we at Zenler are completely revamping quizzes and surveys inside of Zenler, so it will all change, but temporarily what you might want to do is turn off the enable welcome thank you page, and that way they're not going to get access to that page, so you can keep your styling consistent. So now I've finished styling. We've been through all of the quiz settings and setting up how you can use multiple choice, true or false or media. We're ready to go with this. So I'm going to do one final check of the quiz and make sure it's all okay. So we've got start the quiz now, and we've got it all in our styling. Go through this, and there we go, submit the quiz. So once they submit the quiz, they can then go back to review or retake the quiz. So if you click the review page, it just gives them a review of the answers that are correct as they go through. Okay, so that should be completely clear for you guys now. So like again, if you hit the retake, you can retake that course. So if I start it now, and I'll answer all of these correctly, and click this, submit quiz, and you're going to see that we have a grade of 100%. So we can review that again. You can see I've answered the right questions. Okay guys, so that is how you can do it. So if we look at that now in our thing, we're going to close this preview, and we're going to go back to the curriculum now that we've set this up. We can actually preview that quiz in here. So we have it as untitled, and I'm just going to call it quiz and save this, And we can preview this course curriculum page, and you can see the quiz in action. So once they're in your course, you're going to have quiz, and it's going to come up in here like this, and they can take the quiz and go through here. Okay, so in the next lecture I'm going to show you where you can get results from your quiz, and then we're going to continue with the survey. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to test the quiz out. Now, like everything in Zenler, you need to do base tests to make sure everything works. So I have gone into an incognito window in Chrome, and I'm going to go into log into my account as a student, and hopefully that will work in a second. There we go, I'm logged in. So I'm just going to go to my membership access because I've set this up. I've put this quiz into my bundle. So if you guys are not cleared about bundles, I basically set this up as a membership site, and I set it into a bundled membership site. If you look at the membership section, you'll see exactly how to do that and how to drop courses straight into the bundles. So anyway, we're not talking about that, we're talking about the quiz. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the quiz, and you can see I've got the quiz there. I'm going to start this. So remember, on this quiz I've got 100% pass rate. Alright, so let's go start the quiz, and let's get this wrong a few times. I'm going to go continue, I'm going to go false, and it's going to go thanks for completing the quiz. I'm going to submit it, and then it's going to give me my score, which is 0. So obviously that's not good. So I can retake this. You can review what you've got right or wrong. So I'm going to click the retake, and we'll get it half right this time. So I'm going to go start, and I'm going to go that one's right, and I'm going to go that one's wrong, and I'm going to click finish and submit quiz. Now it's going to say 50%, so I've got 50%, so I'm getting better. So I could retake this again until I get it right, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the review button, and I'm going to see which ones I got wrong. Now if you're clicking under review, you cannot click any of these, you're just reviewing. So I got that one right. So if I go to next, I got that one wrong. So that one's the right answer, that was wrong. So I can click finish, and I can retake this test again. So I want to get them all right. So I'm going to go to retake. I'm going to go start the quiz, and this time I'm going to get them correct. And I'm going to submit the quiz. So once you've done that, I've got that 100% right now. So what I can do is I've got it all right, congratulations, and then I click next lesson, which will go, congratulations John Smith, you successfully completed the quiz. And then of course you could go down to the next lesson if you wanted to, or it's returned me back to the curriculum. So now to look at my stats and see who has actually been on this, and remember, as a student I can always revisit this quiz again if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could if I wanted to. You can see I can retake that or review it again if I wanted to. So I'm going to click next lesson anyway. It's going to go back and take me back to my curriculum page, like so. So let's now jump into our actual site and have a look at the results. Okay guys, so I'm on my quiz overview. I'm just going to go back to the site page here. Now all of our quizzes and our reports are generated from the site tab, and you're going to see down here that it says reports at the bottom. Okay, now we can click that and it takes us to another little area where we can view sales, affiliate reports, course progress reports, and quiz and surveys. So if you go into the quiz and surveys, guys, once you're in the quiz and survey area, we're now going to check our survey. So I'm going to go select date range, I'm going to say today, and I'm going to select the course, which was take the quiz, and I'm going to run the report. And straight away you're going to see that we now have the report generated here. So one attendee completed, passed. And we can click on here. You can also export this out. So by clicking on here, it's going to give me the users and any more users that are down there. So you can see what they've done. They've taken the completed course, total questions 2, correct 2, and they passed. You can view the details of this to see what's going on as well. So they've got a report there, and of course you can see the individual questions, and you can export that as a CSV file. So that's where you get your quiz and survey reports for any quizzes that you set up. Just go to Site, you go down to Reports, you go down to Quiz and Surveys, and then you select the day or the date range, you select the quiz that you're interested in, and you run a report, and that report can be exported as CSV at this level or at these levels as well. So you can view the details, and you can export every level of the analysis process. So that's how we set up a quiz. Pretty easy, and it will drive engagement and things like that, get people actually interacting with the system, which is a nurturing thing that's always a good thing inside of Zenler or any sort of course that you create. So guys, that's how you set up a quiz inside of Zenler. Now, like I said before, we are completely revamping the quiz section. There will be a lot more options, and I will be replacing that video at that point when we actually release the new version of quiz.